Good morning, Warriors. Today is Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. Welcome to Morning Adrenaline. Hey, listen, today we are talking about purpose. And we're not talking about the inspirational kind, by the way, but the kind that forces you to create a new chapter in your story. The kind that requires a new power identity, and the kind that actually demands you burn bridges behind you. You have to understand you can't commingle purpose with your old life. Your old life must be replaced in order for you to find purpose and to write a new story or chapter of your life. See, everyone says they want purpose, a better career, more income, stronger relationships, a healthier body, a new life that actually means something. But here's the reality most people won't confront. Purpose doesn't always advance your current direction. Often it interrupts it. See, purpose is not guaranteed to reward what you're already doing. Sometimes it requires you abandon the path entirely. So most people are not walking in purpose. They're moving, but they're not aligned. They work to make money, not to build impact. They stay married while emotionally detached. They train when it's convenient, but not when it's necessary. They acknowledge God casually, but not reverently. See, that's not purpose. That's motion with no direction. If you're already in purpose, then yes, deepen it, refine it, expand it. But if you're not, furthering the wrong path only makes you efficient at avoidance. Purpose doesn't show up randomly, and it doesn't reward your confusion. So before you walk into purpose, you must be willing to chart a new course when it's necessary, and one that costs you familiarity and demands courage and faith. See, purpose responds to clarity. It responds to responsibility, and it responds to identity alignment, not wishful thinking. Movement without alignment is still lost. So before you walk into a new chapter, have you audited the one you're living in right now? This is the step most people skip. They want to do chapter without taking responsibility for the current one. You want purpose without confronting current and past reality. So before purpose, you have to have assessment. It's not imagination, not optimism, not excuses. If you're thinking about launching a business as an example, or increasing your income, ask this. What do you actually know how to do well? What problem do those skills solve? And who would pay for that solution? See, purpose in business without monetization clarity is just a hobby wearing false swag. Now, if you're working on a relationship, ask this. Who are you currently being in it? And who does this relationship require you to become? Purpose doesn't rescue your relationship. A new relationship identity does. How about if you want to raise or promotion at work? Be honest. What does your company genuinely need of you? Where are you underperforming right now? Where are you not showing up? Have you taken responsibility and asked how to become more effective? Purpose, guys, amplifies value. It never bypasses your personal accountability. And how about health and fitness? Stop guessing. What are you tracking? Are you tracking sleep, nutrition, strength, energy, recovery? Purpose respects data, not intention. So if purpose requires a stronger identity, how do you actually change who you're being? This is where real identity work begins. And we're not talking about hype or a motivation. You know how I feel about motivation. Temporary emotion, very temporary. And we're not pretending you'll somehow wake up different one day. Look, at Sisu Vita, we don't start with feelings or goals. We start with friction. You identify the challenges in front of you. Then you tell the truth about who you're being that allows it to continue. Different challenges require different skills. When you're trapped in past experiences, emotional weight, or unresolved pain, that's not mindset. That requires a trauma shift. When you're stuck in procrastinating, avoiding, choosing comfort, or lacking follow through, it's not laziness. But it does require you to do some work. And I call that our problem shifting sessions. And when your energy is low, your focus is scattered, or your life feels misaligned, that's not confusion. That requires you to do an identity shift. See, this is where the work happens. You want the transformation. You don't want to do the work. But this is where the work happens, not by trying harder, but by removing the internal resistance that keeps pulling you back to who you have been. You don't become disciplined. You remove the identity that resists it. And for whatever you're facing, business, health, relationships, faith, execution, we have roadmaps that are already built for you. Over 50 of them, by the way, to shift you out of the old and into the new amazing version of yourself. Structures designed to help you move through any challenge with clarity, ownership, and action. So here's the question of the day. Who do you need to stop being, and who do you need to start becoming so the next chapter of your life can actually work the way you want it to work, with full purpose, moving into the next chapter with power? So, what does it actually mean to walk into purpose? And why do so many people ever do it? Purpose doesn't arrive as a feeling. It doesn't come with excitement, certainty, or emotional confirmation. It arrives as responsibility, your personal responsibility to do something for yourself. Remember last week we talked about the things you have to give up to become a high-value human? That's your responsibility. Being chosen doesn't mean you're special. It means you're entrusted with more weight, more discipline, more consequence. Purpose demands structure, consistency, and separation from the life you can no longer afford to live. When purpose shows up, it doesn't ask for your opinion. It doesn't negotiate timelines with you, and it doesn't care how attached you are to who you have been. It requires obedience to change, and this is where clarity matters. Purpose is revealed through execution, not emotion. You don't feel your way into alignment. You act your way into it. So if you step forward, what exactly has to be left behind, and are you willing to leave it? The moment you move forward in purpose, the old life tries to follow, not aggressively, but familiar, comfortable, and convincing. Old habits will resurface. Old relationships will reach out to you. Old distractions suddenly feel justified. Old comforts offer relief. And this is where most people retreat. They don't quit loudly. They keep exit routes, a bridge to their old life, I should say. They keep just in case versions of themselves alive. But I want you to think of it like this. Burning bridges isn't emotional, it's strategic. You don't burn everything. You burn what weakens your execution. that's leading to your new life, the life you desire, the life that your family desires, the life that the people that are counting on you desire. Habits that dilute discipline, relationships that pull you backward, distractions that fragment focus, identities that no longer fit who you're becoming. And you don't burn them with willpower. You burn them by becoming someone who no longer needs them. If an old identity still has access to you, it still has control of you. This isn't destruction, it's separation. So if this is a new chapter, what are you ending today? What are you willing to end today? What are you willing to do today? A new chapter doesn't begin when you feel ready. It doesn't care how you feel. It begins when you decide the old version of you is finished. Purpose demands clarity. Identity demands courage, and growth always demands loss. Burn what pulls you back, protect what moves you forward, and never resurrect who you intentionally outgrew. Work your body, feed your mind, build your soul. Wake up, warrior. Get out there, get after it today. I'll see you tomorrow.